So we're joined by Sterling N0SSC. So Sterling, I believe you're the Yota representative for the American region, is that right?
Yeah, I went to Yota in 2016, and I'm here in Friedrichshafen to kind of meet the people I met 2 years ago and get more ideas on how to promote young hams in amateur radio, especially through Yota, youngsters on the air camp. That's
cool. So yesterday we saw the handover of the key from the UK to South Africa. So are you going to be going to South Africa?
I won't be in South Africa. I'm 26, so I'm aged out. I think their minimum age is around 26, 27 or so, but I don't have enough vacation time for it, unfortunately. But, you know, I'm here now, and what I'm really here for is that kind of inspiration, because I go for a while, and I've got a wedding to plan and a house to buy, and then I kind of forget, like, you know, my core passion here is, you know, youth and the hobby, and I need to come to these things to get more inspiration and that sort of thing to keep the fire, keep the torch running.
So you've gone from sort of being a participant in this, actually almost like leading it and running it and getting ideas and starting. So what ideas, what things are happening in the States and around some of the youth to get youth into the hobby?
So right now in the States, it's very decentralized. There's a lot of like smaller clubs. For example, South Africa has the Hammies. And they've brought Yota there, and they're starting to coalesce into a larger group of youngsters. In the U.S., we have the Yacht, the Youngsters Amateur Communications Ham Team. I've probably buggered that up, but there's what's it called? Boulder Amateur Radio Junior, Boulder Amateur Radio Club in Denver, near Denver, Colorado, has a small club. There's the YARC, the Young Amateurs Communication Team, or the Young Amateurs Ham Team. Which just started on Discord, which is actually a chat for gamers, and so it's a lot of hams who are also gamers who use this chat platform just to communicate. There's a voice chat platform. 300 people showed up within a few months of that, but they're all over the place. And kind of the idea we're pitching is to start having these camps that get some of the, you know, hams and non-hams together in a camp, so that, you know, we can start to realize and promote the hobby to young people and realize that there are a lot of youth actually out there. Like, you walk around Dayton, Hamvention, and they're all over the place. Like, Dark has a soldering booth here. Dayton Hamvention had a soldering booth with dozens of hams. There was dozens, like the youth forum that goes for 3 hours, and all of the younger hams get like about $1,000 worth of equipment that they're loaded down with. And that's all happening. But there's no centralized kind of organization or structure, and I think that would be really beneficial to promote and get more young people involved.
Yeah, so you're calling on the sort of bodies to try and do that, maybe a bit more organised, but perhaps the ARRL, for example, is anything happening there at all?
At the ARRL level?
Yeah.
We've gone to them a few times, and it's been, I think they're involved in a lot more things to focus on their, I guess, core competencies. And it's just kind of a moving battle, like of dealing with like the older generation who's used to doing like QST and books and stuff, and so we repeatedly like push them and prod them, and then now they're starting to really open up. For example, Collegiate Amateur Radio Initiative was started a few years ago, and that started between Sam Rose, KC2LRC, and I had a Facebook page between the colleges, and we promoted, you know, Collegiate Amateur Radio, which a lot of colleges have radio clubs. And now it's like got 300-400 people, and 30-ish colleges are joining. They run skeds. They've been thinking about doing more like chess over the air, or even like strategy games over the air. And then the ARRL, they got a grant from an Ivy League institution, or Ivy League person, I forget his name, W1 something, to start promoting and giving materials out and scholarships and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like we got to start from the ground up. Once they see we're super active, the ARRL and other leagues, you know, the IREU will realize, you know, this is got a strong foundation. They don't have to do much work other than to support it, and their best thing to do is like fundraising. They know how to get the money and get more people involved and more, you know, members interested in this and helping this sort of thing, you know.
So the Yota camps have happened in the UK and I think previously in Austria, and now going to South Africa. As that's a region one thing, isn't it? Is there anything happening at all? Is anyone from the States, for example? I know you went to one a couple of years ago. Is there anything happening to get more people involved from your region?
Not really. That's what we're trying to do. There have been, so we do have the Youth DX Association, or Youth DX Adventure. They take a group of maybe 15 young hams between the ages of 15, well, more like 13 and 20, to like PJ2T in Curacao or Aruba. I forget their call sign. and they act as DX during a big competition, and that gets a few people really involved. But there hasn't been really any ham camps like we've had here in Region 1. Region 3 in the Asias are also like Japan and the Philippines. You know, Japan being like a super, there's way more hams there than anywhere. They're also really heavily interested in it as well, thanks to the Region 1's promotion and activity over here.
Yeah, because we were chatting yesterday to Mike Jones, who's the UK representative for YOTA, and he was saying that a big part of the event for in the UK was actually not, obviously radio was a big part, but it was also around the cultural things, so actually learning about different cultures, and everyone brought along things from their own country to sort of share with the group, and that's I think the benefit. And if we get more used together to do that, I think that is a very beneficial thing.
Yeah, it's not just ham radio. There's the international night is a pivotal part of YOTA camps. You get to realize and understand like the other I guess member societies, what their cultures are. They bring in food, drink, dress, and they all have tons and tons of fun. In the Americas and like the Latin America, we foresee kind of a similar thing. It is kind of a struggle because it seems to me, at least, that the IRA Region 2 and the ARRL and like the different member societies are a bit more separated than IRA Region 1. It seems like over here they're very well connected, and I can see in the future bringing them together and then bringing our cultures together. When we start in the U.S., it might be mostly American, so there's a little bit less of the culture trick, but like we also plan to invite a lot of the Region 1 people in, because when we start, we don't know what we're doing, and we need people who know what they're doing, right? Who've been there, done that, and be a mentor and an elmer to us, the organizers, and then to the other young hams.
I suppose events like today, where you got together, I think you've had a meeting today, I think, with some of the other countries, and I think that's again is a good way of sharing that sort of that knowledge and experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So the youth meeting today was kind of a State of the Union sort of thing, State of the Amateur Radio Union. In terms of youth, Lisa Linders kind of gave a report, and then Koos Vik from the ZA from South Africa also gave a report, kind of a here's what we're going to do sort of thing. And it was really nice to see like like we said, the transference of the key. I didn't go to UK, but I saw like all the videos and stuff, and that kept the inspiration up. And it's just like it's a great transfer of ideas. And a new thing this year with the South Africa camp is the idea of training the trainers, where, I mean, the whole point of YOTA was to get these mostly hams who are already like young people who are already hams, to the local club and deliver these experiences with the presentation, and then inspire that local club to be more involved in youth. So in St. Louis, Missouri, where I'm from, they have a youth committee, they have classes, ham jams, they have, a very open field day, and, it boils down to that's how I got involved, is field day, the big, event here in the end of June, where everybody gets on the air. You have get on the air stations and things like that. And I've personally been doing like a lot of Skype calls with local clubs, like between, from North Carolina all the way up to Washington State, of like how to get more youth involved, because that's like a concern. People are very like worried. They see the bubble of like 60s, 70-year-old hams, and they're like, okay, now we need to really focus on young people.
To refresh the people coming into the hobby and sort of get people to get involved. So you mentioned the gutters. I know Dan Romanchek, one of our other correspondents, he often works the gutter station when they have these events, and he says it's quite very popular and is a good way to get people into the hobby. So Sterling, we could talk all day, but it's been great chatting, and have a great events.
All right, I will do. I'll be here till Sunday, just walking around. I probably won't buy anything. I'm just here for the hellos and the ideas and the knowledge transfer, and it's been really fun. It's I want to come here next year because it's a whole new experience compared to Hamvention in Dayton, where your toes get run over by scooter rounds, and it always rains, and you're outside, and it's super cramped and hot. But this is a whole nother level, and I'd really love to see this kind of echelon of a radio thing come over to the U.S. But, we've got something pretty good. 29,000 hams in one place, you see a lot of things.
That's a lot of hams in one place. Yeah. Not quite as many as here, but that's great. Sterling, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.